More and more people are using genetic screening to avoid passing on potentially deadly genes to their children. And this looks set to increase as the technology improves. But for some people, just screening for a condition is not enough. They need more than avoidance. They need a cure. The Nash family have pushed the technology of genetic screening to what they see as a logical next step. Using PGD, they conceived a child who was not just healthy, but could save the life of his elder sister. Molly was born with Fanconi anemia. It meant that she couldn't create her own bone marrow, a condition that would lead to leukemia and almost certain death.
They said her bone marrow would start failing about age 3, and if she wasn't transplanted by the age of 7, she would die. And Molly followed that almost. That's the one thing she's ever listened to. She followed that. I mean, the day she hit 3, life started falling apart.
The only solution was a bone marrow, or HLA, transplant. But to work, it had to be genetically compatible. Success rates from unrelated donors were less than 20%, if you could find a match.
They also told us there's a sibling transplant, a related transplant. And the success at that point was about 80%. The one catch was that you have to have a sibling. Well, Molly's closest thing at that time to a sibling was her dog. And, you know, the chance of us having another child that had Fanconi's was 1 in 4.
Then Lisa heard about PGD and went to see one of the growing number of specialists, Dr. Charles Strom, then based in Chicago.
So I said to him, okay, so tell me this. If you can tell me if the baby has Fanconi or not, why couldn't you tell me if it has the same HLA type? And he said, I don't know that we couldn't. I'd never thought of that.
So this, to me, was astonishing. And I knew immediately when I heard this proposal that this was going to revolutionize the treatment of genetic disease, and it was going to revolutionize the care of children with chronic genetic diseases.
Of 30 embryos, only 5 had the right genetic makeup. In the 4th attempt at pregnancy, the last embryo produced Adam. His bone marrow was a perfect match for Molly, by now barely healthy enough for the transplant.
And I mean, here was Molly's brother that she waited for, and here was my healthy, beautiful little boy, and here was this little tiny bag of stuff that was going to save Molly's life.
Today, both children are well and looking forward to normal, healthy lives.
I think we're very lucky that we were at a point in life where technology could help us.
When asked about situations like that facing the Nash family, the majority of people think parents should be allowed to select an embryo to help cure a sibling. Surprisingly, even in Catholic Brazil, 9 out of 10 thought the parent should have this right. But not everyone is happy with the precedent the Nashes have set. This was the first time ever that a child had been selectively conceived for any purpose other than its own health.
Now, with the new biology, we go back to conception. Wouldn't it be irresponsible of a parent not to make these changes? But then, once we begin this journey, we have to understand that this forever changes the parent-child bond. The parent becomes the architect.
People have children for all sorts of reasons. They have children to save a marriage. They have children for tax purposes. They have children accidentally. Actually, most children are conceived accidentally. And certainly, I think a reason to save the life of an older sibling is the best possible reason.
But is this the first step on the road to designer babies?